first video of 2020. What I've decided to do is create 3 different ways that we can write a program to find the lowest number. Now the first way that we're going to do this is by just writing a piece of code. We're going to use a loop and we're going to use a series of if statements. I'm not actually going to use a list, and then the next 2 I'm going to show you how to use a list for this. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with a variable, and I'm going to call this start none. And then I'm going to say equals int input, please enter a number. Now apologies if I make any mistakes with this. I'm using a Mac today as I normally use a PC, but you can kind of see now I've got the first thing here, which is an input, which I'm turning into an integer, and then I'm going to store that as a variable called start number. And I'm also going to make another variable called low num equals start num. Now what this does is it sets low number as the start number straight away, because we need basically a base point, a reference point. Now if I wanted to, I could set this as 0, but the issue I've got then is if I entered numbers greater than 0, then 0 is always going to be the lowest number unless I've entered 0. So the first thing we do is we're going to ask for a number, then we're going to set that then as the lowest number. Now I'm going to do a loop for this, so I'm going to say for I in range 4. Now the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to loop this code around 4 times. So we're going to actually ask for 5 numbers in total, because we've got 1 at the top here, and then I'm going to have the number then looping around 4 times. So we're going to start now with another variable, and I'm going to say number equals int input, please enter a number. Forgot the brackets. And you can see here now this line of code is near identical to this here. So what we're going to do then is comparison. So I'm going to use a simple if statement. So I'm going to say if the number is less than the low number, then what we're going to do is we're then going to swap it around. So I'm going to then say low number equals number. Now, just to let you know this code, I know we could make it a little bit smaller, but it's easier to use a few more variables just to make it easier to follow. So we've got a start number, which is the first input. Then we're setting that as a variable called low number. We're going to loop this around 4 times. Each time we're asking for a number. So let's say, for example, if we have this start number as 5. The next number I enter is going to be 6. So it says if the number that I enter there is less than the start number, then we're going to switch it around, which is not, so it'll loop around again, and it'll keep looping until we've gone around this 4 times. Now right at the bottom of this code, I'm going to just indent out of the program code here. I'm going to say print the lowest number is, and then what I'm going to do is comma low number. So what happens when we run this code? Well, if we run this module now, so enter, right, please enter a number, 5. So we're going to do 6, we're going to do 3, we're going to do 77, and we're going to put 88. Now hopefully the lowest number is going to work out to be this 3. So if I press enter, great, it says there the lowest number is 3. So let's try it again, but this time we'll use a bigger range. We'll use some minus numbers. So we'll use 99, 44, minus 444, 6, and 2. And there you can see then the lowest number is minus 444. So this is a really quick way to get a little piece of code to work out then the lowest number. Now the other alternative we've got is to use a list, and a lot of people use lists for this because it is a very quick and easy way of doing something like this. So I've got another program window here. So what I'm going to do is create a list called number equals open close brackets. This creates a list. Think of this like an array. So this creates a list, empty list called numbers. And then I'm going to do a loop. So for I in range and then we're going to loop this around 5 times, so it's going to ask for 5 numbers. And then I'm going to say num equals int input, please enter a number. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add this number into this list here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say numbers dot append, which means add num. Now this is a fairly simple piece of code. So all it's doing is taking whatever value I've got here, and then it's appending it, so it's adding it to the number list. Now, if I was just to go on the bottom here, now outside the loop, and if I say numbers dot sort, what this does is it sorts it by default into ascending order, so the smallest number will be at the bottom. Sorry, at the first. So if I do this, print numbers, open brackets, or square brackets, sorry, 0. This then is printing position 0. So it's always going to print the first number. So let's run that and see what it does. So let's enter a number. I'm going to start with 8, and then we're going to do 3, then we're going to do 5, 4, 88. And then you can see now it's basically worked out the lowest number, 3. Why? Well, it's sorted it. So it's used a sort function. It sorted the numbers list, and then we've printed out the first. What happens if we enter something where there's 2 numbers that are the same? Well, watch. If I do 6, 7, I do another 6, 8, 9, you can see there 6. Why? Well, it's actually sorted these, and obviously even though they're the same, it's still the lowest number. Now there is another way that we can do this using an array. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy part of this code because it's going to be the same. And I'm just going to put this in here. So again, same sort of thing. We've got numbers, blank array there for I in range 5, num equals int input, please enter a number. We've then got numbers.append num, but this time what we're going to do is I'm going to say print, and then I'm going to say min, because I'm using the minimum function, and then numbers. And I'm going to close brackets. Now what this is going to do is it's going to look for the minimum number in there. So we're not actually sorting anything this time. The array is going to be left as it is, and we're just picking out the minimum number from here. Now if we run this, and let's try and enter a number. So I'm going to enter 7, 3, 8, 5, and we're going to do 9. Bam, it's found there. The minimum is actually 3. Now what happens with this one when you run it again, but you have 2 duplicates? Well, watch. If we do 6, 7, 4, 4, and 3. No, in fact, we're not going to do 3, we're going to do 9. Bam, it still works out the minimum number because it's the same is also going to be 4. So that's 3 different ways that you can use to actually run or complete 3 different methods really of 3 different ways that you can actually use to create a program to find the lowest number. If you found this useful, please leave a comment below. Thank you.